You wanted the recipe of TikTok's most famous bread? Well, now you've got it. This summer I was in my parents' farmhouse in Todi in Umbria, and I made a sandwich using the typical bread from Todi. It's called pizza al testo or torta al testo. And the video went crazy, 3.5 million views. And everybody was asking, what bread is that? That bread looks amazing. And where can I find it? The reality is that that bread, you cannot find it unless you are in that region of Umbria, because even if you go to Rome or Milan, you're still not going to find it. So let alone if you're in the US, the UK, Australia, etc. But it's actually pretty easy to make. So shall we do it? For the ingredients, we need double O flour. I stole this from my brother-in-law. He's got a pizzeria. Thank you, Tony. But you can find it in the supermarkets too. Umbrian olive oil, of course, you just need olive oil. Umbrian olive oil is more authentic. I'm going to use the one from my family's Olive Grove, Passo della Palomba. Then you need some instant dry yeast. Ooh, there you go. Salt and sparkling water. We could use Italian sparkling water, but given that we are in Scotland for the holidays, let's use Scottish sparkling water, shall we? So we start off with 500 grams of double O flour. This will yield you 2 pizza al testo. As usual, we make a little well, and inside the well, we're gonna put everything else. Now, the yeast I have today needs to be activated in warm water. I prefer the ones you can just add in. So when you go out and buy it, just buy the yeast, the active dry yeast you can just add. I'm gonna activate it in some water, which I'm gonna warm up. So we need 250 grams of water. Scottish Island water. Man, my Scottish accent is so bad. I'm just gonna put it in the microwave for 30 seconds until it gets a little bit warmer, and then we're gonna add 15 grams of yeast. I know it sounds a lot, 15 grams, but the reality is that we're gonna let this rise for only 45 minutes. So we need the extra yeast to get that nice fluffiness. So now that the water is warm, we're gonna add 15 grams of yeast. And now we get to measure 25 grams of extra virgin olive oil on the scale. Scales are crucial when you bake because everything needs to be precise. It's not like when you cook pasta where you can use your flair. Here you need to follow the recipe. So 25 grams. And you want a good extra virgin olive oil because you want the flavor of the olive oil to dissipate in your bread. If you have an olive oil that is old, that is rancid, then your bread is going to be rancid and you're going to waste so much of your time. So don't do that. Okay, so let's start assembling things. Start off by mixing salt. I hate this thing, it takes forever. Go on. Oh. Okay, it's gotta be enough. Now, olive oil. All around your well. Start off with a fork so you don't get your hands dirty straight away, but you will have to get it dirty at some point. So let's slowly add it like that, and we mix. Of course, if you don't have a table like this with ample space, you can take a bowl and do the same thing in a bowl, which is actually quite easy because you don't make a mess. As it absorbs, we add some more. And the torta al testo traditionally is cooked over live coal. Of course, we cannot do that at home. So we're gonna do the next best thing and cook it over the fire. But of course, if you do go to Umbria, you must go and try the authentic one because it's got that lovely smokiness that comes from cooking it on an open fire, on coals. And it really is the perfect bread because you cut it in half and then you can fill it with sausages, with salame, prosciutto, wild spinach. Oh my God, just thinking about it. Oh. I want to go back to Italy. And I don't know if you're the same, but like I find this so therapeutic. I don't know. You know what I mean, right? Just take your time with this. It will absorb all the flour. And you want to work it for about 10 minutes, maybe a little bit less. 7 minutes will do. Until the dough is nice and elastic. It's fully hydrated. So it looks something like this. And then when you press, it's got a little bit of bounce, see? Press, and it bounces back. You see it? Let's go closer. Press, and it bounces back. And now we're gonna find a clean cloth. I'm gonna put it over it. And this is gonna rest for 45 minutes. It's quite cold here in Scotland today, so 45 minutes to an hour. If it's warmer weather, 30 minutes is fine. And after an hour, ta-da! Now we're gonna put some flour on top. This one we're gonna make 2 little breads. So one, keep it on the side, keep it covered. And what we wanna do is that we're gonna make a round pizza shaped about 2 centimeters in thickness. And in the meantime, while we prepare this, you're gonna take a pan. Ideally, if you have a skillet, it's even better. You want this to be really, 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 really hot. So we're gonna put it on the fire, we're gonna get a good heat, and we're gonna make it into a size that can fit on it properly. You can use a rolling pin, you can just use your hands, you do whatever you want. Just make it into a nice circle. Make sure it's all the same height so it cooks evenly. And this is our number one. Then get yourself one of these things so you know what temperature you're cooking at. Here is about 225. I'm quite happy with this, so let's do it. Bottom goes down. We take a fork and we're gonna make holes. This is gonna allow the pizza al testo to cook evenly. And after a few minutes, you turn it and you get this beautiful color here. I like to turn it a couple times to make sure it cooks evenly. This should take about 5 minutes. Then we're gonna let it cool down and then we're gonna fill it up with the most amazing things. And here we have our finished product. The good thing about this bread is that it's great to freeze as well. So if you have time, make 3, 4, 5, cook them just like they're now. Oh, they're so warm. Then you let them cool down. Then you freeze them, and the next time you wanna use them, you just take them out, obviously defrost, quickly on the pan, gets the crunch back, and the bread is ready. That's pretty much what we do in Umbria. So without further ado, should we try it? Let's cut it in half. It's got a lovely crunch. It's cooked in the middle. And okay, let's do 2 different ones. Doing 4s. This is still very hot. Of course, when you're at home, take a little bit more time and make sure it's nice and cool so you don't get to, burn your fingers like I'm doing now. But as they say, the show must go on, so here it is. And then what you gotta do, a little bit of olive oil. Here we can do one with coppa. Just put the coppa here. That's done. Next one up, a little bit of olive oil. We have some salame. Bam, salame is done. And these are unbelievably good sandwiches. And I must admit, all this filming has got me pretty hungry. So I'm gonna finish these sandwiches. Buon appetito.